Hi, hello guys. How you all doing? So you are welcome to class. Um, Basically, I'll be your instructor for this course, and then this is our first class. You know, I just wish this class is physical so that it can be interactive. But because of the distance constraint, we just have to do what we have to do. So I have about 12 slides for my first class. So this is the table of content. This is what we're going to treat today in our first class. So this class is supposed to be like cybersecurity, I believe. But just like I said in my introduction video that I I did, I mentioned that I broke this course down to all levels. So in case if you're new into tech, new into programming, because basically this course is programming. We're going to be dealing with programming language. We're going to be writing our programming from scratch. We are not going to be using any external program, any external application. Yeah, so I just you know, want everybody to get along so that if you don't have that background, this course will give you the opportunity for you to have that basic background that you need before we move into the main deal, right? So this is a table of content, welcome message, motivation, importance of this course, Python installation, our first class. We're gonna have a first class, and then we're gonna write our first program, and then I will give you guys an assignment. So let's get it started. So welcome everybody. My name is Shomi Michael, and then I'm the director of Shomi Inter Project Limited. I base here in Canada. Yes, I had my BSc and my masters as well, both of them in computer science from two different countries. And it's good to know that this program is for Thai Children University of Education. Yeah, and all other people that's gonna watch this program later, right? Because yes, this is gonna be in Terrapo archive. So I had my computer science, but I didn't get a degree. I did a computer science at the University of Tai Chilaran University of Education before I moved to Malaysia to complete my BSc. Yeah, so I'm Niger. You understand? So my expectation for this course is very high. Like I mentioned, I expect everybody to get their hand on by the end of this course. This course is totally different. It will require you to have a computer. So in case if you don't have one, you need to get one because you have to really, put your hands on the keyboard and type and write a program. So yeah, so this course is like I said, I'm gonna take it from the scratch. So it's gonna be easier for everybody no matter what level you are. So yeah, that's my expectation. And motivation, guys, you really benefit from being spoon-fed solution. So instead, you must learn how to dig yourself. Learn how to dig. If everybody's telling you what to do, you wouldn't really benefit from that. And the second point which I mentioned here is that I can assist you, but I will not provide solutions to your problem. You get, because this is tech. Tech, you are expected to research, to Google, to practice, right? I can give you guidelines anytime I give you assignment, but I won't tell you the solution. Uh, you have to dig yourself. You have to really go and make that research yourself. So moving forward, importance of this course. This course will give you the foundation idea of the career path you want to choose. So once you undergo this course, it will give you that career path of any yeah, it will give you the foundational knowledge of any career path you want to choose. And then, they said IT to the world, IT to the world, IT is the new oil, this course will also help you, to get yourself there, that level of where other peoples are in the IT world. It will also help your critical thinking, your critical reasoning as well. You will be thinking like a scientist because whatever we're going to be doing here is programming. So it will allow you to think. And then one good thing about this course is that you can use the skills that you're going to gain here for almost all areas. Is it data analysis, gaming, cybersecurity, DevOps, that is app development and all that. So the skills you're gonna learn here is gonna help you in almost all area of IT world, especially programming. So what we're gonna be dealing with in this course is Python programming language. Yes. So Python is not the snake when it comes to programming. Though the logo looks like a snake, Python, but it's more than just an animal. It is a programming language, and it is um, an high level language. There are other high level language which have to do with C++, PHP, Pascal, C Sharp, and Java. They are all high level language, and I will tell you the reason why they were high level language. So, because they were high level language, definitely there will be low level language. So we have low level language of which also refers to as machine language or assembly language. So, which is the C, C++, Fortran. So, yeah, you can make a little findings about that. You can just Google high level language and low level language so that you can have this broad understanding of high and low. So, but Python belongs to the high level language because it can do a whole lot of things. It's a combination of a whole lot of things. It has its own interpreter, and then we're going to see what an interpreter is. But low level language doesn't have that. You get so, which will get me to the next point. So, but before we go, let's get our hands on. Let's try some things. Like I mentioned, you have to have a laptop, or for you to attend this course, it's a prerequisite, right? Because you can't do this over the phone. You have to have a laptop. So the first thing we want to do is installation. We have to install this Python programming language. And one good thing about Python is open source. What that means is that you don't have to pay for it. It's open source um, license. You just have to go on Google and download it. Go to their official website. So I'll just walk you through. Yeah, it's our first class. So let's try that. So go to your web, go to google.com and then type Python on Google, and then this is the official website. Just click on it. It will take you to the official website. Then click on download. So once you click on download, you will see most people use Windows, right? But if you're using Mac, you can select Mac OS and then it will show you the version of macOS. But the latest Python is Python 3.12.2. As of today is 7th of April 2024. So just click on it and then boom, is going to download. So let's check. Then after it's finished downloading, just click on the downloaded um, software and then what you want to do is to click on customize installation. Then everything that we need is actually ticked, which is quite good. We have our documentation in case if you want to read the documentation. We have the PIP, which is the installation package. We have the IDLE, which is development environment. I will still mention stuffs about that. We have a Python test suite. We have PY launcher. Yeah, those are the stuffs that we need for running our program. So just click on this. So what you have to do right here is the advanced option. So you can tick this, install Python for all users so that you know um, all the users that you have on a computer can have that Python language as well, just in case you don't want to use this particular user that you're using. Um, I think we're good for now. Then the location where it's going to be is going to be in program, which is good. Then click on install. I already have it installed on my computer. So you just want to click install and wait for it to finish installing. Then that is for Python installation. Let's go back to my notes. And then there is IDs. So what is IDs? IDs is our integrated development environment. So we have finished installing the Python, but we need a platform to be writing our codes, right? We need a platform where we're going to be writing our codes. So yeah, I wrote command prompt right here. Command prompt is not an ID. I'm sorry for that, but it's an example of where you can write your code. Um, Command prompt, which is a control panel. I mean, no, not control panel. Command prompts. Yes. So how to get that is if you type CMD command prompt to your search, it's gonna pop up. So here you can actually do a whole lot of things with command prompt. By the time we start writing our codes, we can also be writing our codes right here in command prompt. So after you finish installing Python, you can do Python, start Python, and then it's gonna pop up how to open a Python with a command prompt. That is if you haven't installed any IDEs. Like I said, IDEs, let me bring it back. IDE is like a platform where you can write your code, right? But this command prompt as well, you can write your code in here and run your program. But it has its own advantage and disadvantage, right? The disadvantage is that by the time we started writing our code, command prompt doesn't give us like a visual or explanation of our error if we come across any error while we are coding, right? But it's always easier to run. If you want to run your program, you can quickly use command prompt to run your program. Whereby all other IDEs, sometimes they take time because they have a whole lot of things inside of them. All other IDEs, they are just an application like Microsoft Word. You can use Microsoft Word to type, right? But it doesn't, and you can also use like Notepad to type as well. Let's say this Notepad, you can use it to type. You can also use Microsoft Word, but you see, what you have in Notepad is not, it doesn't have a lot of functions compared to Microsoft Word, where you can design, where you can do a lot of stuff with it. So same thing with command prompts and IDEs. So these are few examples of IDEs. We have Visual Studio. Uh, I used to use Visual Studio Code. I still use it. And Python, I use Python as well. I've used Tony before. Yeah. And then there is also Python IDE. After the installation, Python IDE is gonna come up with a Python installation that you've done. But I will encourage you to install Visual Studio Code. That's what we're gonna be using for this course, Visual Studio Code. So how to do that? Just go to Google as well and type Visual Studio Code, and then go to the official website, or you can just click on download right here. So I believe, like I said, most people are using Windows, so you can click on Windows installation. If you're using Windows 10 and 11, click on it right here. It's going to download. And if you're using Mac, macOS, you can just click right here and it's going to download your version for you. So you see, I just click on it and then it's already downloading Visual Studio Code. Then once it's finished downloading, you can just install it. Like I said, this is our first class. What we're just going to be doing is to set up our computer so that we can get set for the tasks ahead. So after downloading, just install it because that's what we're going to be using for this course. So let's go back to the slide. Yes, I've explained command prompts, right? And then I've explained all these IDs as well. So by now we should know what IDs means, integrated development environment. So where we can write our codes and execute our codes as well. So moving to the next slide. So I was talking about interpreter the other time. Or you remember I was talking about high level language and low level language, and then I mentioned that Python is part of the high level language. So Python has an interpreter, right? So what is an interpreter? Interpreter is an engine that translates and runs Python. You know, is the engine it translates and runs Python, right? So whenever we type a code, because computer don't understand whatever that we are typing, right? So it needs an interpreter to interpret whatever we are typing to our machine language, to convert it to a machine language, to interpret it. So yeah, so that is interpreter. It comes with Python, and then there are two ways we can do it, right? Two ways we can use it. We can use the immediate mode, and then we can use script mode. I'm just gonna explain this. Immediate mode means that you type something, you type a Python expression, you type a short code, um, and then Python interpret it immediately, and immediately shows you the result. And a very good example is a calculator. Um, let me calculator. You say 10 plus 10. The moment you press equals to, instantly, you know, it gives you the answer. Immediately it's processed, it interprets it, and then it gives you the answer. So same way with Python interpreter, the immediate mode, you type something into it and then instantly you get a result. And then most way that people always do that is through these command prompts because instantly you type something and then you get your result. Um, yes, I will still show us some examples of that. And then we have the second one, which is the script mode, right? So let's check this example of the immediate mode. You see this immediate mode, you see what we have right here is there's a Python environment. We type 2 plus 2 and then it gives us 4. The interpreter respond with 4. We type 2 plus 2 just like our command prompt. We are in Python already. How do we know that we're in Python? Because right here it's showing the versions of Python that we've installed for us. Let's start this all over again so that you can understand it. Let's close it and then go to our command prompt again. CMD. By typing CMD, you can get to the command prompt. Then this is the command prompt. So after you installing your Python, you can use this command prompt to run your Python execution. Right. So you just type Python and press enter. Then we are in Python already. Right. Anything we are typing after this is a Python code. Right. So we do 2 plus 2. That's the expression that we type. And then we press enter. You see, it gives us that immediate result. But there is something inside this thing that is working which is called interpreter, right? It interpret what we just type to the computer, and computer gave us that answer immediately. He doesn't have to do any lot of work. He doesn't have to check any lot of things because it's an immediate, right? So we're going to check the script mode as well. So another expression, 30 minus 5, boom, we get an answer. So whatever we're typing right here is Python. Python is the one, we're working with Python right now. So let's check the script mode. So what is script mode? Script mode is alternatively, right? You can write program in a file and use the interpreter to execute the content of the file, right? So we write a program. Remember, script. We write a program, a set of instructions. We write a program which I will still explain what is this program, right? We write a program and then we use our interpreter to execute it. The example that I have right here is, you see, there is print, there is bracket, quote. My first program adds two numbers, quote, then we close the bracket. Then we do print 2 plus 3. Then we click on run. So, but we can, yeah, so what happened right here, right? This environment, it is IDE, it is an IDE because you see there is a run green button right here, and then there is a file, edit, search, view, project, run. So once you install that visual code, you'll be able to get this type of environment. So that was why I was trying to differentiate between Notepad and Microsoft Word. Yes, you can use Microsoft Word to type, and you can use Notepad to type, but Note Microsoft or Word have more functions, right, than Notepad. So same way, this command prompt, it doesn't have more functions as you can see. You can see run, all this function that this thing has, this ID has. You can see it right here. So make sure you use IDs. So we'll still get to IDs, but I've showed you how to install it. So what is going on right here is it's a script, because same thing, we want to add two numbers, right? We want to add 2 plus 3. And then instead of us to do 2, 2 plus 3, this is immediate mode, it gives us 5, this is immediate mode. If we have to write a script, right? If we have to write a script, so let's write the script. We're still going to get the same result, but uh, there are some times we just have to write scripts to run our program. So let's say print, comma, in quote, my first program adds two numbers, right? Close the quote and close the bracket. And we do, you see, it's print this for us, right? So, and then we can, so it print whatever that is in this quote and in this bracket. It printed out for us. So same way, what we can do with 2 plus 3, this give us immediate response. We can also do print or 2 plus 3. And once we hit enter, boom, it still gives us the same result. But one is script and one is immediate mode. One give us immediate mode, while by the other one we have to write script. And then I'm still going to explain scripts because we're going to be using script a lot. And then we're going to be using programs. We're going to write programs, you know. Yeah, but do we notice anything here that right here, when we are writing this script, we put quotation, right? And then by the time, what's together though? By the time it prints us the result, there is no quotation, right? But by the time we are printing these digits, which are integers, okay, integers, numbers, um, we don't add quotes, right? Because the moment we add quotes, it's going to think that we want to deal with a string. A string are numbers, I mean letters, words. We call them strings, whereby we call numbers an integer, right? So I'm just going far from myself. Yeah, it's very hard to kind of it's very hard to kind of actually treat this course from the scratch because I'm always expecting that everybody should have like little basic background knowledge of what is integer, what are strings, what are yeah variables and all that. But like I said, I'm going to take your hands in this course and walk you through. So let's get back. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So script mode, the difference we see right here is that in script mode we have to write something, right, for us to get a result. Unlike the immediate mode whereby we have to just do 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, right? So that's clear. Let's move forward. Then a program. You remember I mentioned that I'm going to talk about program, right? So what is a program? A program, because you'll be hearing these a lot. You'll be hearing script, you'll be hearing program, right? Write a program, write a script. So a program is a sequence of instruction that specifies how to perform a computation. Very simple. Sequence of instructions. Yeah. Then I mentioned basic instruction of Python language right here. So a program has to have an input, just like the input, we have to type in something, we have to input something on the computer, right? And then it will give us output. After the interpreter has done his job, you know, it has to give us output, and then mathematical. It should be able to perform basic mathematical operations like additions, multiplications, like the one we saw right here. We do prayings, though these are scripts, but it's a program as well. We wrote a, a program, right? Because it has an input. We input something. So that's why it's a program. We input something, we type in something, and then we have to do some mathematical expressions, and then it gave us an output, which is the result. It gave us the output. So condition statements, we'll still get to that. A program can we it have to it can have some condition statement execution, conditional if statements or loop statements and all that. Then repetitions as well. It should be able to repeat itself. We should be able to call the program anytime we know the program, calling the variables, which will still get to variables, and all that. So that's just basic about program. So moving forward, um, so the first program. With that understanding, let us write our first program. Our environment is ready. We are able to install our Python, and then we are able to install our IDEs. So let's try something. Let's write our first program. So traditionally, right, almost every programming language, the first thing that people always write is hello world. All programming language that I've get to work on is it Java, is it C sharp, is it C plus, um, yes, hello world. So let's try to write hello world in Python as well. The first time I wrote my first program, this hello world, that was back then a long while ago. I was just very glad, very happy that hey, I wrote something, I wrote a program, and then I got a result. So some of us we're gonna be having that. expressions as well today because yes, we'll be able to write something. Yeah, so let's open either our command prompt or the IDE that we installed, the Visual Studio Code. You can open any one of them. So, but for this our first class, I'm using command prompt, yeah, because it's kind of very easy. So these are command prompts. I can just exit from your, yeah, this auto exit from Python. If you don't want to use Python again, you can just type exit, open bracket, close bracket, and then if you want to clear whatever you have written, you can just write clear and enter. It's going to clear everything. And let's go back to Python. So Python, hit enter. So we're in Python environment. So if you don't type, let's do exit. If you don't type Python and you just open the command prompt and you type, let's say 2 plus 2, it's going to give you an error because this is just a command prompt. Command prompt is used for different things on your computer. It's used to trace different things. You can use it to trace the programs that you have on your computer. You can use it to diagnose your computer. You can use it to do a lot of stuff. I can use this to copy my files, my folder, my picture without clicking on my picture. I can use it to copy file, transfer file on my computer with a set of code, right? On this command prompt. You can use it to view your, let's say, RI. You can use it to view almost everything that you have on your computer. You know, this is almost everything that I have on my computer. You know, almost all the folders that I have on my computer. I can go to any folder right here. I can view any folder without me going to click on where the folder is. I can check everything right here with this command prompt. I can check, you see, my computer has a lot of stuff. But I'm so sure if you type this on your computer, it would have stopped because I'm so sure you wouldn't have a lot of stuff like this. So what's the command that I type? Tree. It's actually showing almost everything that I have on my computer. You know, my computer my computer has a lot of stuff. So I'm diverting. So I can just close this because this might take a while. So you can try this. Try type tree, TREE on your computer and see. Maybe it's gonna take maybe it's gonna take this before you know it shows everything that you have in your computer. It's still showing me everything that I have on my computer. I'm digressing, right? Yeah, but that's fine. So let me just cute it. So you can just press Control C if it's taking too much of the time. But I'm so sure you wouldn't have that kind of lot of things on your computer. Um, so I press Control C and then it's cancel that operation that I was doing. But that's not Python. Yeah. But I'm just trying to show you that we can do a lot of stuff with command prompt. So we're just taking advantage of it. We're just taking advantage of it to use it to run our Python programming. So let's go back to Python. Remember how to do that with your command prompt. Python, enter, boom. And then we're in Python environment right now. So what we want to do is to run our first programming language, right? So let me put this right here. I can see myself, so and you can see me. So what we want to do is to type print. My just want to make sure that my all my screens are yes, yes, yes. We should be good. So what we want to do is to type print You can try that in your computer as well. We want to print hello world. And remember, it is the print as well, it's a case sensitive, right? If you use capital letter P, you're gonna get an error, which we'll still talk about error. Huh. Error is very important because we are dealing with, I don't want to digress, we get to that. So case sensitive, remember, our small letter P print. Then we want to open the bracket and then we want to create a code. Then hello what? Close the code. Remember, anytime you open a code um, in Python programming language, you have to remember to close it. If you don't close it, it can disrupt all everything you've written so far. So, and close the bracket. So let's put some exclamation mark there. So we wrote hello world. So we are asking the program to print. That's one of the function of print. So when we write print, it's not that it's going to come out from the printer. So we're just telling the our compiler, we're telling Python that, hey, print this expression for me, print this statement for me. So if I click enter, boom, guess what is gonna show? You wanna guess? Yeah, so we are telling Python print, comma, remember that what we have written so far is a string because it is not a number. A number is called an integer, right? So we wrote this statement and then we hit enter. The result we got is hello world. So what do you notice as well is that it prints whatever we've written back to us. And that is our goal. We want the Python to print whatever with the command we've gave it. That, hey, print this thing to me. Give me the result of this thing. So yeah, everything basically what I wrote here so far. So this is an example of using print function, which doesn't actually print anything on paper, right? It's not printing anything on the printer or on paper for you. It's display value on the screen. So in this case, our result shows boom, hello world, and then the quotation mark at the beginning at the end, it doesn't appear in the result, right? Because we just have to give it that quotation so that Python can know that, okay, the statement is starting from here and ending. It starts here and it ends right here. Also, we're gonna see more of that moving forward. So let's just trace one more thing. Comment. So what is comment? When a program gets bigger, the more we started writing codes, we started writing all this program, we'll find out that because what we are writing is just it is not our language, right? It's a computer language. So we use comments most times to just be able to remind ourselves, right? There are some codes I've written almost some times ago that if I open them today, I can't remember what each line does again, right? Because it is not my language, it is not English per se, it is just code. But with the help of comment, we can add a comment into our code, whereby when the interpreter is executing the code, it will ignore the comment, you know, it will ignore the comment and then it will run the code for us. So with that comment, anybody that opened the code, maybe you've written the code about 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So anytime you open the code again, right? Anytime you open your code, that comment will help you to remember that, oh, this is what I'm trying to do here in this line. Also this line, because we can have about 2,000 lines of code. Yeah. If you're writing a code, we can have about 2,000 lines. So just imagine that you've written almost 2,000 lines, and how would you know what you've done in line 80, line 1027? You know? But with the help of comments, we can place a comment in that section that, hey, this is what I'm trying to do here. with this line of code. But whenever we are running that code, our interpreter is going to ignore, right? Is going to ignore that comment because it's just a comment, right? So comment is always good for yourself. If you've written a code, it will allow you to remind you what you're doing at every specific lines. That's number one. And number two, if you want to send your code to somebody else, maybe when you started working in an organization with teams of IT guys, and then they shared a job for you guys that, oh, write a code for this section. I have to write a code for this particular function. Everybody share that line, and then we have to merge our code together at the end of the day. So it will be easier for the person that is merging the code that wants to create yeah the old software or the old thing that you guys are creating. That it will be easier for the person to understand that, okay, this is what this guy is trying to do. Now that's not the person that wrote the code, right? But with the help of comments, the person can understand, okay, this is what the person is trying to do here. This is what the person tries to do here with the help of comments. So how can we add comments into our code? In Python, in different languages, they have different way of adding comment. In C Sharp, there is different way. In Java, there is different way, and that's one of the things that we programmers that we always face, because all these programming languages, they don't have the same way. So sometimes I'll be writing my code, and then I will write Java comment in my comments for Python, and vice versa. It happens whenever I'm writing other whenever I'm writing code in other programming language as well. But yeah, for the sake of this course, we are dealing only with Python. So how to write a comment is simple. Basically, we just have to use our hash, or what is this? We just have to use so let's say we are writing print uh let's say 2 plus 3 plus 2. Immediately we hit enter is going to give us 5, right? So but let's say 3 plus 2, we now did, here's a comment, and we did, this is a calculation of 3 plus 2. And if I click enter, right, it's still going to show me 5. It's going to ignore this, everything that is after that hash is going to ignore them, because that's his comment. That comment is for my own, right? It, our interpreter, our Python, it doesn't consign our Python with our comment. It won't execute our comments. It's for ourselves. So now, if I send this piece of code to anybody, the person that was reading the code will be able to understand that, oh, this is what this guy is trying to do here, because the comment says this is a calculation of 3 plus 2. So another example, let's try it again. 3 plus 2, and let's add comment of 6 plus 6. Guess what is going to happen? Just guess. If we run this program, what's going to happen? Which calculation is it going to give us if we run this program? Yeah, what result are we going to get? We know the result already. Okay, let's confirm. The answer is 5. Why? Because the our Python would ignore 6 plus 6. Why? Because that's a comment for whoever person that is reading it. It doesn't have anything to do with Python. What Python is concerned about is anything any instruction that you give him, that you give it, right? So that is comments. We're going to be using comments a lot. So our last slide, assignments. Assignment part, debugging. What is debugging? Debugging is a very complex process, and because it is done by human beings, uh, Programming is done by Programming is a complex, right? And because programming is done by human being and it's not our language, right? We often get to make some errors, make some mistakes. So programming errors are called bugs, and the process of tracking them down and correct them is called debug. So the assignment I want to give you guys is I want you to research the types of errors that do occur in Python program and give example of each error. Yes, so just research types of errors because if we don't know the types of error, there is no way we'll be able to correct them, right? So errors, we're going to encounter errors because we are typing what we don't actually understand, speaking in tongues. Yeah, so we are typing what we don't actually understand, but we are trying to learn it, right? So we're going to encounter error, but if we don't know what each error means, there is no way we'll be able to fix them. So this will be assignments, and then I want you guys to practicalize everything that we've done so far. And then thank you guys. I will see you in class next time. Bye bye.